Hey guys, here's the thing. Bend is a hot mess. And I don't just mean the city government, I mean all of us. Because in truth, we've built a beautiful little mountain town that's now wrestling with big city problems. So today, I'm gonna unpack why Bend's housing and development scene feels like a paradox. Or to put it more bluntly, why everything seems upside down, and what's really behind the frustrations that we're all feeling. Setting the stage, we have a housing crisis. That's not political spin, it's a statistical fact. According to the City of Bend's most recent housing capacity analysis, Bend needs roughly 17,000 new homes by just 2028, just to meet the existing growth projections. Raise your hand if you think we're doing that. And here's the kicker. Between 2010 and 2020, over 10 years, we added 14,000 residents, but only about 8,300 new homes. So yeah, prices are high because supply is low. Nationally, we've been underbuilding since 2011, and locally, it's even worse. As of fall of 2025, Bend's inventory has been hovering around 3.5 months of supply, when a balanced market is 6 months. That means that we'd have to double the number of homes for sale just to reach a normal level of inventory. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. John, the MLS says that there are hundreds of homes on the market right now. Sure, but when you dig deeper, Deschutes County has roughly 800 active single-family listings compared to 1,100 back in 2019. And that 2019 number was low too. That's a 27% drop. So on paper, yeah, there are homes for sale, but in reality, we're still underproducing by thousands. And then there's the great waiting game. Buyers don't want to buy right now because interest rates have been hovering in the mid to high sixes, which is actually an improvement. But that doesn't mean that these buyers have vanished. They're just waiting for rates to drop, waiting for prices to soften. And when that happens, whether it's in 6 months or a year from now, we'll see thousands of buyers jump back in at once, maybe. And when that floodgate opens, you guessed it, prices are gonna climb again because supply still won't catch up. So yes, the housing shortage is real, but that's only part of the mess. Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, the keep Bend small mindset. You know these folks. Heck, you might even be one of these folks. They moved here a few years ago, they fell in love with the breweries, the trails, the 300 days of sunshine, and now they're furious that other people want to do the same thing. They don't want to see more construction cranes. They don't want their favorite trailheads packed with Teslas on Saturdays. They don't want another roundabout. I mean, I like them. The roundabouts, not the NIMBYs. And I get it, we are protective of what we love. But the irony, restricting growth doesn't stop people from moving here, it just makes housing unaffordable for the next wave of Bendites. Our nurses, teachers, firefighters, and service workers. And then of course we have the City of Bend, which is caught in the crossfire. Now listen, I'm not here to bash the city staff, and I think most of them genuinely want to make Bend better. But they become the punching bag for every social media comment section and council meeting live stream. And honestly, sometimes the criticism is fair, because while City Hall keeps saying we need more affordable housing, it keeps adding fees and regulations that make housing more expensive to build. So let's go ahead and walk through a few. The home energy score. If you plan to sell your home inside Bend city limits, you now have to pay for a home energy score before it hits the market. That's a $200 to $300 fee for an inspector to grade your home's energy efficiency on a scale of 1 to 10. Sounds nice, right? Environmentally friendly, saves the planet, makes buyers more informed. Except, buyers don't care. According to the city's own acknowledgement, there's no measurable correlation between home energy score ratings and the home's sale prices or even energy savings. So what we're really adding is another hoop for sellers to jump through for zero real impact on energy use. Then there's this new Bend tree code. This came after a few high-profile developments clear-cut their lots and social media went nuts. Now, developers have to pay mitigation fees for removing significant trees, often thousands of dollars per lot, even if the lot literally requires clearing in order to build. Now, I'm all for preserving trees. I love trees, you could call me a tree hugger. But most Bend lots are small and developers are already required to plant curb trees and landscaping. In fact, a recent study showed that the Bend tree canopy is actually better now than it has been in the past. yet the city is still applying fees to new construction. So what happens? Well, builders tack those costs onto the price of a house, and the buyer ends up footing the bill. So much for affordable housing. And then my hot button topic is the proposed gas appliance fee. Here's the latest brainstorm from the city, charging builders extra fees for installing gas appliances. Gas stove, fee. Gas fireplace, fee. Gas water heater, fee. Gas furnace, a fee for that too. I grew up thinking that gas was the clean energy. Here's the thing, the city says it's all about reducing carbon emissions, but that logic ignores some huge practical issues. First, our electrical grid isn't ready. Pacific Power has already warned about load constraints, and large data centers in Prineville are eating up capacity fast. Second, about 30 to 45% of Oregon's electricity already comes from natural gas. So we're just moving the emissions from your house to a power plant 100 miles away. And then the third, relying 100% on electricity is risky. If the grid fails during a deep freeze, and remember, we've hit minus 10 degrees here, people could literally freeze. Look, I'm not anti-green. I've got solar on my house. I'm hyped about this new geothermal project at Newberry, but this stick instead of carrot approach, it's not realistic for where we're at today. And these fees are gonna add up for home buyers. Then we've got the road wars. Now let's move on from houses to roads. The city's been on a multi-year long mission to modernize our transportation network. Make it safer for pedestrians and cyclists, and add roundabouts, slow traffic, reduce emissions. All great goals, again, in theory. But what has actually happened is that nearly every improvement has made driving slower, more congested, and more confusing. Take Greenwood Avenue. They narrowed lanes to make room for bikes and added medians that make turning nearly impossible. The result, according to the city's own 2025 mobility data study, vehicle travel time increased by 24 to 30%, while bike traffic increased by, wait for it, 300%. But that also very well could be the change from 3 bike users to 9 bike users. And overall, 79% of respondents hate the change. That's not exactly a win for efficiency. Now, I'm all for bike lanes, but not every road needs to be a social experiment. The majority of Bend residents, over 86% according to the 2023 Bend Transportation Survey, rely on personal vehicles for work and errands. So when we intentionally slow roads down to make them safer, we're also making them less functional. So here we are. Everyone's mad and everyone's right. The public wants affordable housing, but protests every new subdivision. The city wants density, but the state forces them to allow apartments in commercial zones. Developers want to build, but fees and codes make it financially impossible. And homeowners want to protect their trees and their views, but still want their kids to be able to afford a house here in Bend someday. It's a stalemate built on good intentions and bad math. And maybe, just maybe, some hypocrisy. But let me give some credit where credit is due. Bend's current council has made housing a top priority. They're even looking at allowing smaller lot single-family homes and ADUs by right, which could help. But at the same time, we're still layering new fees and requirements faster than builders can even adapt. In 2024, the system development charges, which are the fees that builders pay to hook into water, sewer, and roads, cost anywhere from $21,000 to $25,000, depending on the size of the home, per new home. That's before the shovel even hits the dirt. So when a builder says, I can't make a $400,000 home pencil, they're not kidding. That's why most of what's being built now starts in the high sixes and up. It's because that's what it takes to cover costs and still make a profit. Building homes is a business. Meanwhile, while the city asks residents to tighten belts and pay higher fees, they're also spending millions on projects that, let's be honest, look great on Instagram, but don't move the needle on affordability. Example is the Hawthorne Overcrossing. Originally sold as an $8 million project, is now estimated at over $30 million for one pedestrian bridge. Now listen, it's a cool design, it'll connect east and west sides, and it'll look great in photos. But when taxpayers see that price tag while housing costs spiral and roads choke, it's a hard sell. It's a perfect example of why the city's priorities look good, but feel out of touch. Everywhere you look, Bend is trying to be two things at once. small town mountain community, and a progressive urban test lab. We want the charm, the character, the wide open spaces, but we also want sustainability, density, and walkability. We want new neighborhoods, but not near us. We want green energy, but not if it costs us comfort. We want the city to fix traffic, but not touch our favorite roads. See the problem? Ben's growing pains aren't unique, they're just amplified because we're doing it under a microscope. Okay, quick timeout before I go full rant mode. If you're finding this kind of local deep dive helpful and you want to stay plugged into what's really happening around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We cover everything from recreation to real estate, and our goal is to keep you informed, not just entertained, but the entertaining part is fun too. And hey, if you or somebody you know is thinking about buying or selling in the area, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. You can reach out to us anytime at cromrealestate.com or stock our contact info down below. All right, back to it. So what's the fix? There isn't a single silver bullet, but here are a few things that actually make sense. Smarter growth, not no growth. Expand the urban growth boundary responsibly with a mix of single family and multifamily options. This gives us a chance to relieve pressure, but without just paving paradise and building condos everywhere. Cut the red tape. Simplify the permit process for infill housing and ADUs. The city's 2024 permit data shows an average processing time of 115 days. That's 4 months of carrying costs before a builder can even pour a foundation. And then let's target incentives. Instead of punishing builders with gas fees or tree fees, offer incentives for energy efficient construction or tree preservation. Carrots beat sticks every time. And then let's balance transportation. Yes, we need safer streets, but safety and efficiency can coexist. Let's pilot changes before overhauling entire corridors. At the end of the day, Bend isn't a spreadsheet problem, it's a people problem. We've got families who grew up here and can't afford to buy in their own hometown. We've got new arrivals who came for the lifestyle but didn't realize how complicated local growth politics are. And we've got city leaders trying to please everyone and end up pleasing no one. And all of us, no matter what side we're on, want the same thing. A city that's livable, beautiful, and sustainable. The problem is, we just can't exactly agree on how to get there. So before we all light up the next Facebook comment thread or unload on the city during a public testimony, maybe take a breath, do the homework, listen to both sides, because here's the truth. Most of these decisions are way more nuanced than they appear in a 15-second soundbite. And while the city gets a lot wrong, it's also trying to tackle an impossible equation. Growth, affordability, sustainability, and politics all at the same time. Ben's not broken, it's just growing up. And like any teenager, it's awkward, it's emotional, a little bit dramatic, but I'll take a messy, evolving Bend over a stagnant one any day. Because the fact that we care enough to argue, to show up, to comment, to yell, means that we still love this place deeply. So let's keep holding our city accountable, but maybe with a little less venom and a little more vision. All right, that's my rant. Drop your thoughts in the comment. I genuinely want to hear your take. Do you think the city's doing the best it can or totally missing the mark? And as always, if you or somebody you know are thinking about buying or selling here in Central Oregon, my team would be honored to be your local real estate resource of choice. Thanks for watching. We'll see you over in the next video.